All right, so you're thinking about moving to Soto, Kansas? Well, good news. In this video, we're going to be talking about DeSoto, Kansas. We're going to take a look at the map on Google, show you where it is in relationship to Kansas City, how to get around, all the stuff you need to know. And if you stick around to the end, we are going to talk about the shocking news about why DeSoto is setting records in Kansas state history. And we're going to get started right now. Hey, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Kansas City and the surrounding area, places like DeSoto, Kansas, then click subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications so you can be the first to know of the current market right here in the KC metro area. My name is Zach Morton. My business partner Max Jones, the Mojo Real Estate team, and I have been helping people move to Kansas City for over 20 years. We get calls, texts, emails from people just like you every single day, and we love it, but you don't have to take our words for it. See what our clients have to say with over 600 5-star Google reviews from people just like you. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, just pick up that phone. You can give us a call, shoot us a text, drop us an email, even schedule a Zoom call. All of that contact information is below this video in the description. So we can have that conversation with you about what your goals are and help you with that seamless transition into your new neighborhood. But today we are on DeSoto, Kansas, and we are going to look at the map. So let's dive right in here first. I'm going to grab my little pink pencil like I do, and I'm going to start with, I always like to start these videos with a Kansas City, Kansas and a Kansas City, Missouri. You got to know that. You got to know the difference between the Northland and the South, so we can get all our lingo straight. And then before, I haven't done this in a video before, I want to let you guys know, you may already know this old news, but Kansas over here is the sunflower state, and Missouri is called the Show Me state. I don't know how to draw a show me. S-A-O-S-H. Anyway, show me state. So here's how it's laid out. Kansas City is divided. There's a Kansas City, Kansas City, Missouri, and it's divided by this river, the Missouri River. It runs all the way across the state, but right here into the center of Kansas City, and then the state line's just a fictitious dotted line that drops straight south. Everything over here is Kansas. Everything on this side's Missouri, and then we also have this thing called a north of the river, south of the river. Everything north of the river is Missouri, but you can also live south of the river and be on the Missouri side, and that's just the river here. So this is the Northland. This is down south, as they say. So now that you know everything you need to know about the lingo and the directions, Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, let's clean that up and see where DeSoto is. So DeSoto is southwest. Here we go, right here. You can see it maybe in the red dotted lines. I'll kind of outline it a little better. On the south side of town, Kansas City city center right there. And you can see, you know, you've got these lines where the city is the most heavily populated area. It's kind of out there. In fact, it's a little green. So it is a smaller town. It is on the outskirts, but there's a lot of action, a lot of news. We're getting a lot of calls with people asking about it, what's going on, and it's poised to have a lot of growth. So that's why we're talking about it right now. And then the city just kind of keeps going around like that. So it's, as far as getting to the city center, you are about 30 minutes to downtown Kansas City, you know, plus or minus traffic, all that good stuff. The airport is always up here just south of Platte City. So if you're traveling a lot, you just need to know about it. If you're not traveling, not that big a deal, but you're about 45 minutes up to the airport. So those are travel times to basically get around in the city. Everything you need. In fact, some of the sweetest spots in the whole Kansas City are some of the nicest places, the best counties and all that. Well, Johnson County is considered the best, one of the best in the Midwest, actually, and maybe in the whole country. But it's right here on the south side, and it actually includes DeSoto. It's way bigger than that, but so everything you need, everything you could possibly want besides an airport lies right inside this circle. I'm talking malls, mega shopping, big box stores, everything. So 30 to 45 minutes to this edge of town from DeSoto, and you've got everything right here. Downtown Kansas City with the plaza shopping, concerts. I guess if you're a Chiefs fan or a Royals fan, you are going to head out into the Raytown area in I-70. So you're going to have to cross Kansas City's downtown, but it's not that bad. You do have lots of ways to get there. 435 is a loop that runs all the way around the city. It's kind of a forward-thinking thing. They did this a long time ago when they built this. It was kind of seemed like it was going out into the country. Like, why are you putting a highway in the country? Well, of course, Kansas City has grown to fill up that, and now it's allowed the city to grow in a lot of directions. But you can hop on 435, get out to the stadium. You can get on 35, shoot up here to I-70 and get across. You do have a lot of options. You can also go straight up K10, hop on I-70. I-70 is going to cut straight across the country and right through Kansas City. It goes California to the East Coast, and then we have a couple highways that goes north up like to Chicago and Canada, and all the way down, dissect right through Kansas City and down to Mexico, and down to the Alabama area. So lots of highways coming right through the middle and dissecting all this. But it's pretty easy to get around. In general, Kansas City as a whole, we have traffic, but we got a mess here on this. It's really not hard to get around Kansas City. You're never really more than 30 to 45 minutes from anything in Kansas City, pretty much any time of day. I've spent some time. My business partner, Max Jones, we're both born and raised in Kansas City. And then after college, he went out and explored New York for a little bit. I waited a little longer, had kids, and then took my family out to Oregon for a few years and lived on the West Coast before coming back to home sweet home and continuing to grow our business right here in the KC metro area. So you've got tapped into a great resource as far as lifelong residents of this area, minus a few years of exploring, growing up, selling real estate, doing business for the last 20 years right here in our hometown. So happy to share as much of that knowledge with you, and that's why we're doing these videos. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I think we've kind of laid out Kansas City as a whole down here on this side of town. So yeah, let's just go ahead and zoom in and start getting a little more honed in here on DeSoto and what DeSoto is. So definitely we're out in the country. We've got the Kansas River is the north border to this, as you can kind of see this, and is also to Johnson County. So that's the north. Up here is Leavenworth. We've got a vlog on Leavenworth and all that same stuff too, but DeSoto falls right here. Now this is only 11 square miles, this little guy right here. So not very big at all. The population inside of DeSoto is just like 6,100 people, so pretty small. But the school district, it's much bigger. It looks more like this, 100 square miles. So a lot of times when we're talking DeSoto, it's not just this little bitty city right here, but a lot of the homes and properties and places you're going to live and work are going to lie outside of DeSoto, but still have that DeSoto designation. It's just not inside the city limits. So you get that out of the way. Let me go ahead and pull the school district up just so you can see that real quick. So you've got DeSoto there, and let's go with, there we go. Nope. There it is. Boom, you can see the school district is way bigger. So that's at basically about 100 square miles for the school district. And then again, that town is just like right there. So very sizable. One of the best things about DeSoto that I will mention is the schools. They have A+ schools, the second best rated schools in the state of Kansas. Overland Park over here has Blue Valley schools, which are the #1. These are #2 just by a skosh. They just missed it by a bit. But Overland Park really is huge, has the biggest population, has the most money, blah, blah, blah. So DeSoto is next to that, and DeSoto's population is small, but their school district takes a lot of the kids that come from Shawnee. We've got a vlog on Shawnee. You can look on that. Lenexa, both Lenexa and Shawnee will butt right up to DeSoto. And then even parts of Olathe, which these are all great suburbs of Kansas. We've got vlogs, we've got map videos. We go in depth on more on each one of these areas, including Overland Park. But just to show you that DeSoto school districts are so sought after, and since it's kind of on the west side of town, a lot of the west side of Shawnee, west side of Lenexa, I think it's almost 60% of Lenexa, and parts of Olathe will go to that school district. So the town's only 6,100 people. The DeSoto school district actually serves 7,500 kids. So of course that math doesn't work out unless you include some of these schools. But people living in Shawnee, whether they want Blue Valley or DeSoto, I mean, you're pretty much just splitting hairs there, but we have lots of information. Happy to chat with you about that. There's lots of school resources too where you can look online and get all those ratings. But DeSoto, you know, they've got all the sports, all the spring sports, fall sports, everything on our vlog. We kind of go through all the sports that the schools offer. It is a little bit smaller because it's a little more sparse. So you are like, versus like the Blue Valley getting on sports teams, it's probably going to be a little bit easier to make the teams if you're in that DeSoto school district. But we're planning on seeing a lot of growth out this direction, and really excited for what's coming for DeSoto. And we've talked about it in some of our vlogs, and we're going to be talking about it here as well. So that's kind of how that laid out. Let me get rid of this real quick because I want to point out that we have Lawrence over here. This is KU, home of the Jayhawks. And we found that a lot of people, like professors, coaches, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in Lawrence. There's medical facilities and all kinds of stuff. But maybe you don't really want to live in a college town. Although, you know, this college town is pretty nice, especially as you get outside of that. It's not like it's just all dorms and frat houses. This is a nice place. But some people just want to live more out in the country, but still be close to town, have those Johnson County amenities and all that. This is only about a 30-minute drive to get to DeSoto if you want to live in a spot that has great schools to raise your family. If you're working in Lawrence, that might be a great option. Sometimes working in a college town, you know, we most of us could go to college and went through that part of our life, and now we're ready to go on and get to the city and raise family and do something different. So that just brings another option. I just want to point that out, how close that is to Leavenworth. Then you go on to K-State way out over there. There are lakes nearby. We've got Clinton Lake. So there's plenty of stuff to do on this side of town. All right, let's go back to DeSoto proper. DeSoto, 2 words, and is also named after Hernando de Soto, a Spanish explorer. FYI. So here we are in the lovely DeSoto. This is kind of the little downtown area. In our vlog, we're walking down the street, so check that out. It's a quiet, peaceful town. Everybody knows everybody. You can see as I pull it up, here we are at Lexington's kind of the main busy street, or kind of the highway through town. JT's Grill is a popular spot that gets a lot of people. You can see they've got 4.4 stars, 815 reviews. And then up here by the coffee house, or the Cuz coffee shop, this is kind of your main drag right here, like the old downtown strip. When we're doing the vlog, we're actually walking down this, and there's the Pizzeria, which, you know, I'm a pizza junkie. If you watch any of my videos, 4.8 stars. I have not tried this pizza shop. I actually went in there to use the bathroom. They were nice enough to let me in when I was doing the vlog. Just trying to watch what I eat most of the time. So like once a week, I'll allow myself to pig out, and this wasn't in the cards for that day. But anyway, this is the strip. There's some fun stuff to do: ice cream, coffee, pizza. But it's pretty quiet. Not a whole lot of action. It is kind of that nice little vibe with the downtown street and all that, but you know, much more than that, not a lot going on there. As you zoom out, there's lots of older homes in this area, kind of the old 2 stories or Victorians. Some are nice, some are not so nice. In fact, the first house we went through was right around in this area, right here. On the vlog, so you can check that out. There's a infill with a brand new duplex, and I think it was like $230 per side, or no, $260 per side, and you get the whole thing for $520 if my math's right. Was right there, brand new construction, but it's a lot of older, smaller homes in this area. So the super walkable little spot right here. There is the baseball fields. You are close to the park, the swimming pool if you live in this area, but I would imagine most people are going to be going for the subdivisions and kind of the newer, more modern subdivisions with more of the modern amenities. But if you like that little vibe, it's still a cool place. What I like, there's a couple places in my childhood. Had family that lived in places like this. There's Edgerton up north. There's an Edgerton in Kansas too, but where the ball fields also had there's like silos in the background because we're out in the country. There's a lot of farmland, so I believe like right here there's still like 4 or 5 silos and some farm stuff going on, and then you got baseball fields, and that's right as you come into town and just pull in, and that's like your first sight. So definitely quiet town, laid back vibe. Everybody knows everybody there, and it's just chill. You go to the restaurant, you see everybody, say hi to all your neighbors and friends and family, and that's just the vibe right there. Kansas River is to the north. There is a bridge across that, which is pretty sweet, which puts you into Leavenworth County. And then, the river, it offers some stuff to do. There is also, let me see if the parks are going to pull up on this particular map. There is parks. There's Lexington. Where are we at here? We've got a golf course right there. I'll pull the other map up so we can see that here in a second. We do have golf course. Let's just go to this map. So you can live on golf. You can see pretty spread out. You see in some of our other neighborhoods on these golf courses where they're packed in tight. This one is pretty laid back. I'll turn my brightness up. Lots of elbow room. Lake there. We kind of went around the restaurants. You do have like 4 basic restaurants and a grocery store. Other than that, there's not a lot going on, but there is a meat market, so you can go there and get nice cuts of meat, and this is highly rated as well, 4.6 stars. And then a Harp's grocery store, but other than that, just a handful of restaurants, Chinese, a couple taco shops, pizza, a couple coffee shops, Bar 30 with some live music and all that kind of stuff. And then let's see, we've got the grocery store over here. Harp's is right down in this area. There's the Mexican food. DeSoto High School, walk right from this downtown area. And while we're up here, I'll just zoom in on it so you can kind of see kind of the older small houses just kind of scattered around. Really no rhyme or reason to it. Even a couple trailer parks in there, I'll point out, so you do see that as you're driving through town. There'll probably be less and less of that. We're seeing it all around. Kansas City had areas that had trailer parks, and now as people are moving out, they're taking them away. I don't know if that's the case here, but I would imagine as this continues to grow, you'll start to see more of that. All right, so we got the golf course we talked about. Let me go down here to the park. There's Lexington Park. We've got all these trails through the forest. There's that shelter right there that you can rent and take advantage of. All this parking. Put your boat on the lake, go out there and fish, have a good time. There is also down on the south side of town here, Kill Creek, there is the dog park, which they have a 16-acre off-leash dog park. It's a really nice facility. You can just pull right up here and park, take a stroll. Really set up nicely for that. So there's also a disc golf course out here. So there is a few things to do, but as far as your nightlife and all that stuff, the golf, disc golf, a couple bars, there's an indoor golf, there's the sunflower field. Kind of touch on all that in the vlog, but besides that, there's not a whole lot happening. You're going to be finding yourself. You can see, I love this map view though, but as you go on 10, as you start heading this way, it's pretty sparse right through here, and then you start getting back into some construction, some new construction, some houses, and at this point, you're pretty, you get the Garmin Soccer Complex. You've got the station over here, and it's just all kinds of, where are we? Oh, we're all the way to 35 over here. So anyway, it is, it's not too far. We're talking like 15 minutes to get to this area right around in here. And then you're another 15 minutes to get kind of down over to 35, which is kind of the center of all the action. So all in all, it's not too far away, but everything out here, you are out in the country. I'm going to zoom in on this too, just so you can see. I mean, you can't really go further north and still be in Johnson County, and because the county, you got to stay south of this, but all this land will still get you that kind of DeSoto address, but just, I mean, you can just see all the stuff that's available. In the vlog, we were looking at houses. Right here is a new construction. In fact, this is Arbor Ridge. Lots of new construction going in, and it's going to continue to happen. But I think we were standing almost right there in the vlog, looking at a super sweet contemporary house. What we're kind of seeing out here is you can get, for Johnson County prices, you're probably going to save almost, like being right in the heart of Overland Park, where it's established, nice and new, kind of the top of the top. You can probably almost get $100,000 more bang for your buck, or the same house for $100,000 cheaper, maybe better, by heading out here to more of the country at a little slower pace of life, but still being in Johnson County, and still having access to all those amenities. In fact, I mean, in reality, I live up north of the river, and DeSoto is closer to Johnson, or it's closer to all the action in Johnson County than I am. So, you know, technically, if that's what was important to you, was all the amenities Johnson County has to offer right in the city center, then DeSoto is a pretty sweet spot. So let me see. We kind of went around there. What I really want to point out is what's been in the news and will continue to be in the news. Right down here to the south, this is a huge area. It was the Sunflower Ammunition Plant, and I mean, it is massive. It's almost the size, it may be bigger than the actual, I forget if it's like 11 or 15 square miles, bigger than the actual DeSoto's city. So this was owned by or operated by the U.S. Army. It was an ammunition plant where they made smokeless gunpowder and rocket propellant. So pretty high tech, pretty dangerous place. They have decommissioned that. They're still cleaning it up. It's going to take a while before it gets clean. But the good news is that Panasonic, the city of Kansas, has done or the state of Kansas and then DeSoto have done a deal with Panasonic on an electric vehicle battery plant that's basically going to be going in right here. In fact, it's already under construction. If you watch our vlog, you can see these three, you'll see 3 water towers or 4 water towers, these little dots right here. So you can see those from a lot of the high points all across town, even if you're over here. And that is right where the plant's going in. So if you're out in that area and you see those, you know that plant's going right in there. And then they've got all this other acreage. They're still cleaning it up. As you zoom in on this, you can see, I don't know much about gunpowder and ammunition and all that, but you can see that they've got all these buildings. I mean, I do know enough that says, hey, if you were going to store gunpowder and explosives, you wouldn't want all your eggs in one basket, right? So I'm assuming these are all storage facilities that are just scattered pretty wild. I mean, all over the place, just a massive amount of real estate that this ammunition plant took up. But it's no longer in use, no longer in service. And now this is just allowing Kansas and DeSoto to take advantage of all the growth opportunity that big business brings. So we'll, let me zoom in on those water towers just so you can see that again. Those 4 water towers right there. So just, it's taking up some of that. So super excited. This is a $4 billion project. DeSoto and Kansas are giving them $800 million in tax incentives to get this thing off the ground. And they are DeSoto is putting in a lot of money and resources into the infrastructure just to get this all ready for all this growth, for more housing, so the roads can handle it, the wastewater, everything. And then I'm told also it is in the works for a, kind of an executive park or another business park this way, and a solar field to kind of run it all. So all kinds of cool stuff. The solar field's supposed to put out like 500 million gigawatts and gigawatts. I don't know exactly, but they said it could power up to 500 or 5,000 homes all at the same time. So pretty cool, but I guess most of this power is probably going to go back into these plants and keep everything going. I mean, I guess if they're making electric batteries, they're going to need to charge them. And what better way than to use some of that Kansas sunshine, that 214 days of year of pure Kansas sunshine. All right, so that is pretty exciting. That's going to get, so right now that has brought 16,000 construction jobs to DeSoto. All those people are paying taxes, helping that grow on income tax. It's going to create 4,000 jobs right out of the gate. And they are predicting 4,000 support jobs will come from that too. And then just the amount of people that are moving, this might be why you're watching it, into this area. There is so much room for growth out here. So much raw land and farmland. But right now, right now it's just not, it's spaced out. Farmland, lots of farmland. Everybody's living on a couple acre-sized lots, or estate-sized lots. A couple subdivisions going in closer to town, so that's kind of the prediction, is that'll just kind of keep growing, swelling out. But in reality, if you were working over here at the EV plant full-time, got a career going there, you can really pick up real estate anywhere in Shawnee, Lenexa, Olathe, have an amazing quality of life, still have DeSoto schools or Blue Valley schools, be close to all this. So I'd strongly encourage you to check out all those videos that we've done in that entire area, because you're probably not going to just have to live in DeSoto. You want to check it out, see what else is important to you. So that's why we put these videos together. I don't care where you live. I just want to make sure we put these videos together because Max and I have both had thousands of conversations, literally helped thousands of families each get into Kansas City and decide where they want to be. So we put all these videos together just to kind of share some of our knowledge on the areas, the local areas, what's going on, to kind of help you hone in on where you might want to go. But the easiest way is, once you've done that, it's just when you get close, just ready to pull the trigger, just give us a call. We can kind of talk through some of your concerns, let you know what our thoughts and feelings are. Let us know what you love about where you're at now, and maybe we can point you to a place that's kind of like that too. Save you a lot of time and search. And when you get here, you don't want to be, a move from another state, maybe a coast, it's so far to travel. Last thing you want to do is get here and be super stressed about figuring this all out. So that's what we're here for, and that's what we do, and we love doing it. So anyway, I think that pretty much lays out DeSoto. Don't know what else I want to say about this. Sometimes on these videos, I'll just touch the vacation spots. I love to travel, so let's talk about that just for a second. What the heck? You don't have to watch the end if you don't want to. We talked about the battery plant and all the fun stuff. But so on the north side of Kansas City, we've got the airport, and then most people are going to be traveling on their drive trips. They're going down here to the Ozarks, Warsaw. There's several lakes down here. There's a TV show called The Ozarks, which isn't actually even filmed here, but it's about the Ozarks. But you got a lot of lakes, you got a lot of canoeing rivers, a lot of fun stuff, camping, all that stuff that happens right down here around Warsaw and Lake of the Ozarks. Several lakes down that way. Out here, you've got a couple, like Clinton Lake, a couple lakes that are closer to Lawrence. So that's kind of the lake life. Up here, Facebook's got a big plant going in up north too by Smithville Lake. So between this battery plant for Panasonic and Facebook or Meta, got all kinds of action happening here in the Kansas City area. Let's zoom out just a little bit further though. A lot of the trips that I find myself taking when we're traveling is we'll do a big snowboarding family, so we're always going out to Colorado. It's our close drivable. You're about 10 hours to get up in the mountains of Denver, so that's not too bad. It's straight down I-70, so just close your eyes and go. I'm just kidding. Open your eyes and go, but it's not white knuckle. It's just a straight shot. There is nothing out here in the middle of Kansas. Not fence posts, not cows, nothing. Just prairie grass. You are to Mexico. We will do, that's kind of our beach trip, kind of all-inclusive cheap beach trip. From the airport, you're down here on Cancun, on the beach of Cancun, or Isla Mujeres is one of my favorite spots. And then that's about 3.5-4 hours, and you're on the beach from Kansas City. Florida beaches, Texas beaches, those are all 2.5-3 hours. You're also pretty easy getting down here, the Dominican, Puerto Rico, the Caribbean lifestyle, 4 or so hours out to the West Coast. Did a lot of trips back and forth to Oregon. When I moved out there, I was still selling real estate in Kansas City and had my business here, so a lot of traveling back and forth. That's an easy flight. Southwest has a direct one. 4 or so hours to the west, 3 or 4 hours to the East Coast. So centrally located, easy to get around. Drive up north, do fishing trips there too. So there's plenty of stuff to do depending on where you're from. We don't have the mountains. We don't have the ocean beaches, but we do have a lot of stuff in between, and we have an airport that's centrally located. So to get to those spots, although you do have to hop on an airplane and fly, but it's a brand new international airport that just went in the last year, and we just continue to get more and more international flights and local flights, direct flights. And it's not a bad life living here in the Midwest. So anyway, thanks for watching these videos. I hope it helps you find your next home, your next neighborhood, the place that you're going to raise your family. Let us know how we can help. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, thumbs up, and subscribing, all that stuff that you do. Please keep doing it. If you're a giving person, give us a 5-star review. But until next time, just remember you got a friend in the business. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.